Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now today we're going to have a pairing video of our Melopoeus albostriatum, the Thai zebra leg. Now you would have remembered we got these guys in only a couple of months ago, I think it was, and we got two females and a mature male. Now they've been a really interesting spider, and one of the reasons we went for them is because they're just not seen that often for whatever reason, and yet they are such a stunning spider. They are a fossarial spider, so we don't see huge amounts of them, but fed correctly we can get them hanging in the mouth of their burrow, so they're out on show a little bit more, and they've got this lovely pinky hue to them. They are really pretty spiders. Now one of the things that we've noticed with them is they appear to almost go into shock. So when we put them into an enclosure, or we rehouse them, put them in something new, if you sit them in the open, they literally just hunker down and don't move. And they will wait until nightfall before they move. So as soon as it's dark, they'll get out and they'll have a little look around. So what we have found is when we rehouse ours, we literally coaxed them to the burrow that we wanted them to use, and then they would go down in the burrow and they would settle down. Now our male, we kept him in a Braplast tub, and as we keep many of our males like that, because we want to curtail their movements and keep them, you know, slowed down a little bit, but we found he literally sulked and it wasn't particularly good. So we've, since doing this video, we have since moved him out and we've given him a proper burrow. Now many of the fossarial spiders, especially the males, if you deprive them of a burrow, it doesn't really bother them. Once they're mature, they don't really seem to affect them. They're just constantly on the move anyway. They just want to find a female. But with these guys, they really went into a sulk. So it's really interesting that we treat every species on its own merits, and we need to learn what these different merits are, and we've done that with these Thai zebras. So without further ado, we will move over and we will have a look at this pairing. It almost caught us out, almost, and you'll see why, because our male was sulking and we were just thinking maybe, you know, are we going to have to give him a little nudge? But watch the video and we'll see. So sit back and enjoy. We'll be back shortly. Now here we are, about to introduce our male into the female's enclosure, and you can see there the way that he came out of that box, almost lifeless. And this is something, this must be some way that they protect themselves, or I don't know. They literally go into like a sulk. Now since we've done this video, we have in fact changed his quarters and given him some more depth so he can burrow away, because he obviously they just seem to freeze, and this is what he done here, and it took a long time for him to actually wake up. And at one point there I thought maybe he was just thirsty. So look, here we go, we're just trickling a little bit of water down there. He's making no effort, he's changing nothing, he's not thirsty. He's literally almost in a trance. Now we sat like this for maybe 45 minutes or so and didn't do anything at all. And as I said earlier on, I started answering questions on my phone from messages from different groups within Facebook. And I was looking up and down, and then all of a sudden he was at the mouth of the burrow. As you can see there, he's literally just moving over. You see the droplets of water on his back, on his carapace. Now our female, you notice there that he just gives that little tiny shake. I think our female was literally in the entrance to the burrow. Now look at the change in his temperament. You see how he's lifting himself up as she comes up the burrow. He really is a very striking spider. And we've gone from a spider that looked like it was on death's door to now he is fully awake. You can see our female there, very receptive. He's drawing her out lovely. See how he's changed his body? I mean, he looks like a strong spider now. You can also see there with his abdomen, he's trying for insemination now. Look at that, he's gone straight in there. He can't quite reach. But you can see with the abdomen on our male, you have to forgive my camera work here. It's all sort of kicked off pretty quick, and I was trying to get the best angle. Look at her, she is such a striking spider. But as we were saying, the abdomen on our male is nothing to worry about. He's in really, really good order. He just showed from the outset that he didn't look very well. Here she comes, look. Unfortunately, our audio didn't pick up that drum, and it was very loud, but it didn't pick it up. You can see now our male, he's took the higher ground. Always interesting how, even with fossarial spiders, when they're pairing, the males will always go up. They will always climb up, given a chance. Now you can see the female now is doing much of the initiating now. And here we go, our male's making contact. Another thing that was striking with this pairing is many fossarial spiders are very, very nervous. The females, very nervous about coming out of the burrow. But as you can see with this girl, she had no qualms whatsoever. She has got love on her mind, and she is getting some. Here we go. She spurred our male on there. You see that? He's giving that slowly backwards and forwards, jerky movements. And we have contact now. You see how the tempo rises? He's finding it a little bit awkward sitting on that ledge. Our female's patient, she don't mind, look. Constant reassurance from our female. You see, we've seen no aggression from our female whatsoever. She's been very, very well behaved. Here she comes. Look at that, he is straight in there. He's a very confident male. See the huge pedipalps on him? Oh, look at that, there you go. Look, he made a lunge for her there. He's still not keen being hanging on that edge. Here we go, he's waving now. The communication between these two spiders was extraordinary. It was absolutely fabulous to witness. You see how he rocks backwards and forwards? It's because he's almost like walking the beam. Very difficult for him to actually gain a real good solid foothold. He needs to be down one side or the other. Perching on the top is making it very, very difficult. You can see the female, she's maintaining her tempo, that constant drumming. You notice also her fangs are in a normal position. She's not flaring her fangs or anything. Here we go. Oh, look at that. He's trying now. Here we go. We're trying to find the epigastric furrow there. You notice how he's tapping when he's looking. Most of them sort of like stroke the female. There we go. There's insemination. He has actually lifted her upside down. Look at that. That's an incredible insemination. Look, he's stuck. There you go. And you see it pop out then. You can clearly see the emboli on the male. She's scratching her abdomen. Always a good sign that we had a successful insemination. That couldn't have gone better. Absolutely perfect. And again, we saw no aggression from her. Now the male has done his job. He is gone. Look, he's off. He's out of there. Now one of the things that we do is very, very careful how we remove our male from the female's enclosure. The last thing we want to do is get him to bolt back down inside that enclosure and straight into our female. So notice how we use the lid. It's lower at the back to stop him from bolting backwards. Nice and gently does it. He's back in his box. Nice and safe, ready for another day, ready for our other female. Now you can see there our female there, she's scratching her abdomen, which suggests that many times when we pair these spiders, that the actual insemination is maybe an uncomfortable procedure. And we think this is to some extent why we get that aggression from our females. Look at the coloration on this girl. These are very underrated spiders. They really are super, super pretty. There you go, you see she's scratching away there. She's got a nice full abdomen. She's looking like she's well within her molt cycle. So hopefully. Now, there she goes. We're seeing her just disappearing in there. That took her around about 40 minutes or so to actually go back down into her burrow. She was quite happy just sitting outside. We had to encourage her in the end. What a fabulous pairing. Well, what did you think to that? That was pretty, well, once it got going, it was pretty chaotic. And she was full on. She was really, really keen. And as you would have seen in the video there, she set up a lovely home. And quite often, if we come in of a night time, we put the torch on, she is out wandering around. She's hunting. She's looking about. And always in the mornings, we'll see her just sat, peering out, watching the world go by. A bit later on in the day, she disappears. She does tuck herself away, but you quite often see her in the morning. Now, you would have seen the male. Well, this is what we were explaining with the male. You see, when we popped him in there, we pretty much tipped him out. And he was just sort of like, he was all hunkered up like this, and he just sort of like fell out, you know. Didn't even really put a leg out to save himself. They really do sulk. So we left him on the thing there, and it was my own fault. Quite often when I'm doing these pairings, if they're a little bit slow, I get messages come through on my phone. So I'll sit there and I'll be answering messages, and I'm looking up and I'm answering messages. And I looked up and all of a sudden she was out, and hey presto, we were at it. I was like, how on earth did that happen so fast? So once she actually knew he was there, she'd come out and everything was on. And then we started getting some really, really cool footage. Now you'll notice how he woke up. He went from a spider that looked like it was on death's door. He really didn't look very good at all. And this is what I'm saying about this sulking type attitude that they have. He literally, you really did think, you know, he's got minutes left to live. But as soon as she came out, wow, bang, he literally woke up and there he was, you know, a raging Casanova, and he was at it. And she chased him up the glass, they come back down the glass, they done everything. And then you notice there a couple of times where he tried to get real close, tried to inseminate, and then he backed off a little bit. But there was no point in that whole pairing where she actually looked like she wanted to cause him any harm. So it was a really, really cool thing. Many of these fossarial spiders, the females can be rather harsh. But with this girl, she was really good. So we're going to see now whether the other female, we're going to pair that one as well, whether she's any friendlier. And the only reason we've not paired her so far is because she's sealed herself up and it's looking like she's getting ready to molt. So unfortunately, we may have missed the boat with her. We just got to hope that our male has got plenty of life left in him, and we'll see whether the time scales marry up and we're lucky. Fingers crossed. But yeah, with this one, what a dream. Absolutely perfect. Now we will pair them one more time to see what happens. But going on that pairing, I think we were in. I think that was a good pairing. We might even just get away with just doing that one. When we put them in for a second time, it's most important to see how our female reacts to our male. Excuse me. And you'll see straight away, if you're pairing your spiders, sometimes a really, really happy, receptive female can come out like a bull in a china shop. She is not having none of it. So we have to be really, really on the ball the second time round and make sure that we cover all the bases and we're ready to save him if needs be. Generally speaking, if they've got enough room, he will get out of there pretty quick. So bear in mind, if you are pairing for a second time, be aware your female may not come out with the same intentions. She may be a little bit rattled. So it's best to be safe. Right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully a couple of months' time we'll get a sack. Again, it's going to be a difficult one to find because they burrow down and we can't actually see in her burrow. So it's going to be a case of whether she disappears, seals it all off and disappears. And if she does that, then we will then take our dates from the day that it's all sealed off. Probably give her a couple of days to produce a sack, then we'll put a date down, and that will be our start date. Right, well I hope you enjoyed them. They really are a fantastic spider. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I will see you soon, guys.